can't even blame George for that. Like, Mercedes pit crew are just like, oh, shit.
Hello out there in internet land. This is episode 6 of the 2026 season of the F1 Chat. I'm your host, Phil Lamington. Seated to my left is a man. It's Manuel JB. JB, how are you?
Manuel JB Montoya. Yeah, I'm all right. Much like the team. We're just all right.
Just all right?
Just all right.
Yeah, your team hasn't... saying that they haven't been great in the last couple of races.
Lots of false hope.
Yeah.
Monaco would have been one of their tracks, and then it wasn't. And then free practice in Spain, like Oscar's fastest, and then qualifying day went nowhere.
Well, look at Monaco. It was going to be a Mercedes on the front, and then 2 and 3 were going to be Ferrari. And then the track fell apart.
Yeah.
And then Ferrari's hopes of 2 and 3 fell apart.
Yep.
And it was
Charles Leclerc did not have a good fortnight.
No. But here we are. So we're going to talk about the previous 2 races, because we've already had one of our listeners already nag at me, where's the new episode? It's like, come on, we're more regular than rocket-powered Mohawk here, all right? Give us a fighting chance.
Yeah, that's not hard.
Yeah, you know.
You show up once every 12 months and be as regular as rocket-powered Mohawk.
Sadly, though, we're not as entertaining, but fuck it, we give it our best.
We do.
So we're going to be talking about the Monaco Grand Prix and briefly touching on the complete schmozzle that thing became.
Oh, did it?
And we're also going to talk about the Barcelona F1, because it's not the Spanish F1. The Spanish F1's later in the year. I
still hashtagged it Spanish GP all through the chat, so all on our Facebook page, it's hashtag Spanish Grand Prix. So
yeah, because the Spanish Grand Prix is not until
Madrid
September.
Now. Don't give a shit. It's in the same country.
And then this was its last year on the calendar as a regular track too.
Good.
Because it's going to alternate with Spa.
Okay.
You're like, good. No, not anymore.
Could just get rid of Catalonia and keep Spa permanently.
Well, you know what you could do? Get rid of something shit like Miami and keep Catalonia.
No. They just signed Miami to extension, so.
No. Oh, yeah, they did too. And Las Vegas.
Sigh.
Right, so we're going to talk about Monaco, the Monaco bar.
Yeah, we'll get it started.
Let's kick this party in the arse. Take it away, JB.
Right, 2026, Louis Vuitton Monaco Grand Prix from Monte Carlo. That one, Kimi Antonelli starts on pole position alongside Max Verstappen. Antonelli launches brilliantly to get the whole shot into turn 1, as Max's Red Bull drops power and splutters off the line, dropping to the back of the pack after his car also struggled on the formation lap. Pierre Gasly passes Lando Norris as Lando was squeezed to the outside barriers by his McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri. Lap 2, Ollie Behrman, Valtteri Bottas and Gabriel Bortoleto are all in the pit lane, presumably after opening lap contact. Max Verstappen rolls into the pit lane after a cautious opening lap to retire from the Grand Prix in his Red Bull. Lap 18, Valtteri Bottas retires from the race in his Cadillac, overheating issues ending his day. Lap 29, Lewis Hamilton pits for hard tyres to try and get some clean air and put in some faster laps. Lap 32, Lando Norris tells McLaren he hears a noise from the car, possibly misfiring from the engine as his team look into it. George Russell pits for hard tyres to look to undercut Norris and Gasly. Lap 33, Isaac Hadjar pits for hard tyres, just losing out to George Russell on pit exit as Mercedes' undercut strategy begins to pay off. Lap 34, Lewis Hamilton is handed a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Lap 36, Charles Leclerc pits for hard tyres to try and chase down his teammate with the penalty pending. Lap 37, race leader Kimi Antonelli pits for hard tyres, cruising back out into the lead of the Grand Prix in full control. Lap 38. George Russell is handed a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Lap 45, Lando Norris is finally forced to retire from the race in his McLaren as the power unit problem worsens. Lap 47, Pierre Gasly pits for hard tyres. Sainz and Albon swap places on the road, much to Alex's dismay. Lap 49, Oscar Piastri pits for hard tyres as Arvid Lindblad passes Alex Albon for 10th into turn 1. Lap 53, Pierre Gasly is handed a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Lap 56, Oscar Piastri is handed a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Lap 60, Lance Stroll plows into the barriers in his Aston Martin at the final corner, triggering a safety car and a flurry of pit stops as drivers try to clear their time penalties. Lap 66, Charles Leclerc hits the same barriers as Lance Stroll did off the safety car restart, as the outside tarmac at the final corner is peeling up and causing havoc. Lap 68, the race is red flagged as the FIA looks into checking out the tarmac in the final corner. Meanwhile, George Russell has handed a drive-through penalty for failing to serve his initial 5-second time penalty correctly. Lap 71, Kimi Antonelli holds off Lewis Hamilton for the race lead off the restart. Meanwhile, Nico Hulkenberg makes contact with Carlos Sainz in the hairpin, sending the Williams into the barriers and out of the race. At lap 78, Kimi Antonelli wins the Monaco Grand Prix from Lewis Hamilton in second place. Pierre Gasly initially finishes third, but is demoted with his time penalty to 7th, with Isaac Hadjar promoted to the podium. Except later on, days later, Pierre Gasly is re-promoted to third place as his penalty is rescinded.
So I'm going to read the results here, but F1 has only put up the results after Pierre Gasly got put in. So I'm sort of doing the mathematics on the fly here, okay? So if I fuck this up, tell someone who gives a shit. So Kimi Antonelli won the race. Lewis Hamilton came second. In third place was Pierre Gasly in the Alpine.
Yeah.
Fourth place was Isaac Hadjar in the Red Bull. Fifth place was Oscar Piastri in the McLaren. Sixth place was Liam Lawson in the Racing Bull. Seventh place was Arvid Lindblad in the other Racing Bull. In eighth place was Alex Albon in the Williams. Ninth place was Esteban Ocon in the Haas. And 10th place was Sergio Perez in the Cadillac, but then that got taken off him, and Fernando Alonso ended up coming in 10th and got Aston Martin a point.
That is crazy.
So, let's talk about some of the race highlights here. So, right at the very start, Max Verstappen car conks out.
Yes.
That really did set the tone for what the fuck was coming over the next 78 laps.
It was, what did I say, that these new regulations would turn shit races into good races?
Yeah. But I don't think it was
It wasn't dramatic on-track racing, it was more Max Verstappen standing at the end of the speed lane with a radar gun.
Yeah. Well, so his car conked out. Then, my God, how many pit lane speeding penalties were handed out? Everybody. And then they're like, oh, there was an issue. Like, if you're handing out that many penalties, even Martin Brundle on commentary was like, I think there's something wrong here. They need to go and investigate the timing thing.
You know who's pissed off about it? Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
Because he served his penalty and would have been on the podium.
You'll also...
Oscar's like, if I didn't serve my penalty, I would have been on the podium. And then Pierre loses, Pierre gets his penalty rescinded and he's back on the podium anyway.
But also, not only is he pissed off, but apparently George Russell is pissed off, but no one fucking cares what Latte Boy's got to say. Toto Wolff is now getting lawyers involved to try and fix... just... Jesus Christ. All they had to do was stop the race and check the penalty, the timing thing. If you're getting that...
They could have done it during the red flag, could they?
Exactly. It's just, I mean, it made it an exciting race because you didn't know who was going to get a penalty next.
More penalties than a Champions League final.
Jesus, there's more penalties than a match against Italy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Bloody hell.
It was just ridiculous.
More penalties than an Ashley Klein game.
An Ashley Klein State of Origin match.
Good. Don't say it too loudly. He might put a bet on sports bet again.
Oh, shit. The next one, George Russell's pit lane blunder. What I mean by that was he went into his pit and instead of serving the 5 seconds, they just went, let's start working on the car.
The two guys at the front didn't touch the car, and then everyone else did. So the two guys at the front had to touch the car.
Yeah, they're like, well, the rest of you have fucked it for us, so we got to do it.
I can't even blame George for that. Like, Mercedes pit crew are just like, oh, shit.
Oh, no. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o.
Yep.
Lance Stroll crashed out.
Can't even blame him.
Can't even blame him, no.
Can't even blame him.
But we will.
And we blame Lance, then we have to blame Charles. And Charles was straight away, as soon as he crashed, he's like, I'm not taking the blame for that.
No, well, he's blaming Brembo, the brake supplier.
He's blaming the brakes, but what it actually was the tarmac pickoff.
Yeah, they tried explaining that to him when he went into the paddock, the interview paddock. And they're like, the track is falling apart. And he's going, yeah, but it's still, the brakes are rubbish. The brakes we've got are garbage.
Yeah, right.
And here's the thing.
They could be.
Well, here's the thing. Lewis Hamilton uses different brakes than Charles Leclerc.
Are they both by Brembo, though? Don't they have to
No.
be standard across the team?
Nope. No, Charles Leclerc is using Brembo. Lewis Hamilton is using Carbon Industries.
Maybe Charles needs to borrow Lewis's brakes.
Well, this week, the Spain race, the Catalonia race, he had swapped over to those Carbon Industry brakes. But Brembo came out and said, oi, before you start pointing your finger at us, let us look at the data first. So I think I think that Charles Leclerc has gone off half-cocked because it was his home Grand Prix and he really wanted to win it. And I think he's blamed the brakes, but it is the road that was coming apart.
Yeah, that tarmac was picking up. Exact same thing happened to Lance Stroll. I mean, they dissected it in the Sky control after it.
Yeah, because, I mean, there was something similar to that at Bathurst a few years ago.
Yeah, yep.
You know? And they had to stop the race and try and fix up the track and,
I'm glad they didn't stop it for like 3 hours and get the fucking track resurfacer out there with only like 8 laps to go, whatever it was.
No, but the race didn't finish until 1:30 in the morning.
That's why I watched the replay. Actually, I wasn't even home for the race.
I watched it live.
I tried to watch the Spanish Grand Prix live last night and fell asleep after the F2 race. Getting old, man.
Yeah, I will admit I fell asleep. Like, it was the commentator going, lights out and away we go.
Lights out and away I go.
And then I woke up with 2 laps to go and I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably George Russell leading ahead of Kimi Antonelli. I looked up and I went, holy fuck, it's Lewis Hamilton winning.
Yep.
Oh, get fucked. And it's VSC. Oh, fuck off.
Yep.
I was so excited I couldn't sleep after that. But, after that, then there was the red flag, and then racing resumed, and then we got the result.
Yeah.
It was actually a good Monaco, though.
It was an entertaining Monaco, if not for just the penalties, I guess.
Yeah. It's always when something strange happens that you get something of a good race.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Kimi Antonelli. He drove around Monaco 78 times.
Yeah, but he put it on pole first.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do. Bit of a shame Max clonked out, man. They would have had a race-long battle.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been fun to watch. But, I mean, everyone put all their eggs in the basket that Charles Leclerc was going to get pole position, and he didn't.
No.
So, I don't know if Ferrari feel like it's a bit of an own goal that weekend, but Kimi was flawless when he had to be, you know? He's still only a kid. It's his second year in Formula One.
I reckon, though, if Max Verstappen's car did, in fact, actually work, it might have been a slightly different result.
You reckon Max would have got him?
I think so.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen, so...
We'll never know.
Yeah, it's an educated wish.
Yeah. Would have been a hell of a fight.
All right, so we're going to move on now to the key drivers. First key driver was Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. Great weekend.
Great weekend for him. He's certainly on an upward trajectory, as we'll see in the next race.
Yeah, he's on the upward swing now, you know. Ferrari's upgrades, you know, maybe it's more Ferrari-specific tracks, but they did bring a bunch of upgrades to Monaco, and they seem to work, so...
Yeah, but, well, they brought more to Spain, but we'll get to that a bit later. I'm just buying time as I modify my helmet driver list. Next key driver was Pierre Gasly.
Yeah. Yeah. Had a great weekend, you know. Got on the podium, lost the podium, and then got the podium back.
Yeah.
You know, a podium for Alpine at Monaco, you know, that's...
I felt bad for Hadjar, though. Like, that was what, his first podium?
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah. And,
but
you know, but...
It was a shit show, man. Like, FIA needs to review that.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? And if you're rescinding Pierre's penalty, are you going to rescind everyone else's?
Well, that's why it's going to the courts now. They might deem this race completely...
Null and void.
Null and void because of all the fuck-ups.
Maybe.
And yet not a single person has come out and said, oh, gee, it's a bit more rigged than Abu Dhabi in 2021.
They fucking still not let that go yet?
Yeah, we've still not let that go. Next key driver, Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, I guess so. I expected more from both McLarens, but...
Yeah. Also, next key driver, Isaac Hadjar.
Yeah. Yeah, unlucky to lose that podium by technicality. The FIA giveth and the FIA taketh away.
And then the FIA blendeth.
And the FIA go to court.
Next key driver was Alex Albon.
Yeah. Good result for Williams.
Well, yeah, to get that Williams piece of shit where it is, because that is a clunker, that car.
It has not been a good car this year.
And I know he didn't finish the race, but you got to give props to Carlos Sainz as well.
He was there or thereabouts until he got tagged.
He got hit twice.
Yeah, he got hit by, was it Hulkenberg the first time?
Yeah, Hulkenberg tagged him.
And then he got hit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was either Lawson or Lindblad tagged him the second time, which spun him around. Speaking of which, next key driver was Liam Lawson. I think he did all right.
Yeah?
Yeah. Same with Arvid Lindblad.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned him much this year.
No.
I wrote his name down in the notes, and I'm like, when's the last time I even spoke about Lindblad?
It's normally in a bad connotation.
I don't think I've written him down in the race notes at all this year.
And final key, I've got two key drivers. I feel really bad for one of them because he did get a point and then he got it taken away with Sergio Perez.
In the Cadillac, yeah. That would have been good for him.
And then, obviously, he got replaced by Fernando Alonso. So
the FIA giveth, the FIA taketh away.
Right, now we get to the fun part. It's the PK kick. It's time for the helmet drivers. All right. So I'm going to get my pain out of the way first. Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, well.
The track breaking up. It's not his fault, but I've got to write someone on the list. Because then my next name on the list is Lance Stroll.
They're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Honestly, neither of those accidents were their fault.
The next one, I take great pleasure in writing this fucker's name down. George Russell.
Yeah, he's my lock.
He's just a habitual whinger.
He's my lock of helmet driver of the week. I don't care. I locked him in before I even saw the race highlights.
I've got two more names.
I don't care.
Two more names.
I don't care. I'm putting my sports bet money on now.
Well, my next one is the Mercedes pit crew.
Well, technically it was their fault, but nah, fuck them. George Russell.
And my final one is the fucking race stewards.
Or whoever's in control of that pit lane radar gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think I'm still going to stick with George Russell.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's a win for George Russell again.
You know, where you're trying to consolidate a championship chase and your day just goes to shit like that. Ha ha.
As soon as you say that, I start hearing the theme song for Friends. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. Sorry, George, I think this isn't going to be your year, buddy.
No one told you that Monaco was going to be this way. Clap, 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 clap. You drove like a joke.
Now, normally we would put the results up like the team and the drivers' standings. But because it's all just a fucking cluster.
It's a pretty clusterfuck at the moment.
So we're just going to skip that and just go straight to the Catalonia Grand Prix. And we get into something really, really nice.
Yeah. All right. So, 7 days later, after the clusterfuck, back. 2026 MSC Cruises Gran Premio de Catalunya at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. Which apparently it's not called the Spanish Grand Prix anymore. It's called the Catalunya Grand Prix.
Yes. It's kind of like back in the 90s when they had the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim, and then they'd have the European Grand Prix at the Nürburgring.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, they used to do that with Valencia too, actually.
Yes.
They used to call Valencia the European Grand Prix, even though it's still in Spain.
Yeah, they also had in the 90s, they had the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. Not Suzuki.
Suzuki boys.
Suzuki boys. R.I.P. Latifi.
R.I.P. King Latifi. That was Logan Sargent.
Yeah, it was.
R.I.P. King Sargent.
Where is Longhorn? Where is he? Come back. Come back to us.
Miss him.
But then they'd also have the Pacific Grand Prix, and it was at Fuji.
All right.
It's just like you're giving the Japs two races. The fuck?
Just on the other side of the island. The island is not that big, hey?
Oh, God. Do you remember about 20 years ago, there was that game that came out called Test Drive Unlimited?
Yes.
And they said it was the entire island of Hawaii was the thing. And you could go around the entire island in just under an hour in a McLaren F1.
Pretty sure the island of Hawaii might be bigger than that.
But you could never keep the damn car on the road.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Speaking of not on an island, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. That one, George Russell starts on pole position alongside Lewis Hamilton. George Russell gets the whole shot, leading the race on the long drag race down into turn one. Max Verstappen splits the McLarens in fifth. Lap 6, Lance Stroll is told to retire in his Aston Martin with a gearbox problem. Charles Leclerc nearly rear-ends Oscar Piastri into turn one. Further back, Isaac Hadjar makes a neat move around the outside of Pierre Gasly in turn 3. Lap 8, Isaac makes another great move around the outside of the second Alpine, Franco Colapinto, in turn 4. Lap 8, Charles Leclerc fights his way back past the McLaren of Oscar Piastri for 6th, as the Australian struggles for rear grip. Lap 11, Lewis Hamilton pits early to get rid of his soft tyres for a set of hards. Lap 12, George Russell has to react, pitting for hard tyres as Max Verstappen follows him in. Lap 14, Lando Norris is in for hard tyres. Lap 15, Oscar Piastri does the same thing. Lap 16, Charles Leclerc is told to come in by Ferrari, but Charles says he wants to continue and stays out. Valtteri Bottas is told to retire the car with an issue with his Cadillac. Lap 17, Charles Leclerc's extension lasts exactly one lap as he pits for hard tyres this time around. Lap 18, Isaac Hadjar makes a bold move down the inside of the final corner on Oliver Baumann for 9th. Lap 28, Lewis Hamilton pits for medium tyres, his second stop of the day. Lap 29, Lewis Hamilton sweeps around the outside of Oscar Piastri in turn 3 on his fresh medium tyres. Lap 31. Nico Hülkenberg is in the pit lane in his Audi and is not rejoining the race in any hurry, engine issues ending his day. It is later revealed that a piece of gravel flung up by Liam Lawson pierced the engine cover on his Audi, hitting the exact spot to set off the fire suppression system and the ERS kill switch.
Nice shooting.
That's some incredible bad luck. Lap 32, Charles Leclerc lets Lewis Hamilton through to chase down the Mercedes as he flies along on his fresher tyres. Lap 36, Lando Norris pits from third place with Lewis Hamilton closing in, a fresh set of hard tyres to take him to the end of the race. Lap 37, George Russell pits from the lead of the race for another set of hard tyres to go to the end. Oscar pits as well. Lap 38, Kimi boxes for hard tyres as Lewis Hamilton inherits the lead of the race. Lap 40, George Russell fights past Charles Leclerc for second as Charles peels off for his final pit stop. Fernando Alonso is off on the grass in his home Grand Prix in his Aston Martin, the VSC deployed. Lap 41, Max Verstappen dives in for a cheap pit stop. Lap 42, Lewis Hamilton gets an absolute gift, putting on a set of fresh hard tyres and getting out of the pit lane, still in the lead of the race, just as the VSC ends. Lap 54, George Russell is given the hurry up by Mercedes as a final warning before they let Kimi pass him to try and chase down Lewis Hamilton. McLaren tell Lando Norris they've reported Kimi Antonelli to the FIA for exceeding track limits more than 3 times and expect the Mercedes driver to pick up a penalty. Lap 60, Isaac Hadjar pits late for a used set of soft tyres. Red Bull telling him to stay off the curbs to avoid vibrations. Lap 61, Kimi Antonelli braves it down the inside of turn 1 on George Russell for second place. Lap 62, Kimi Antonelli's Mercedes grinds to a halt, sounding like a tractor, after just making the pass for second place and extending the gap, the championship leader out of the Grand Prix. Behind him, Charles Leclerc slows down with hydraulic failure, limping to the pit lane as the VSC is deployed. And lap 66, Lewis Hamilton wins the Spanish Grand Prix, his first proper victory in Ferrari colours. George Russell finishes second for Mercedes. Lando Norris gets third for McLaren, the first all-British podium since 1968.
And before I read the results, Kimi Antonelli post-race got a 5-second penalty for
exceeding track limits.
Exceeding track limits, because when they gave him the black and white flag for the third time, that was actually the 4th time he'd done it.
Oh, no.
And they forgot to give him the black and white flag on the 3rd time because they were busy with something else. So, but because he completed 90% of the race, he doesn't get a penalty for the next race.
I mean, the penalty was a DNF anyway.
Yeah.
They would have, I mean, had he finished the race, he would have got the penalty, though.
Yeah.
Weird how that works.
Or if he had crashed out before 90% completion, he would have gotten a 5-place grid penalty the next race.
Oh, there you go.
I think he should still get it, just because shits and giggles. Anyway, so Lewis Hamilton wins the race.
Lewis Hamilton wins the race.
George Russell came second. Lando Norris was third. In 4th place was Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. 5th place was Oscar Piastri in the McLaren. 6th place is Isaac Hadjar in the Red Bull. 7th place was Pierre Gasly in the Alpine. 8th place was Franco Colapinto in the Alpine. 9th place was Liam Lawson in the Racing Bull. And 10th place was Arvid Lindblad in the Racing Bull. We're talking about him again. But let's get to the race highlights of this.
Okay.
So we'll start off with Isaac Hadjar's incredibly shithouse start of his race.
Yeah.
It just...
That's 2 races in a row where Red Bull just has not got off the line.
Yeah, at least he was able to keep going, though.
Yeah, well, look, in saying that, Max Verstappen recovered and got 4th today, so...
Yeah?
You know.
Aston Martin and Cadillac's woes continue.
Yeah, it's Fernando clocking out of his home race sucks, and
Stroll was out by lap 5, I think.
Stroll was out by lap 6 with the gearbox, and then Fernando didn't even finish the race, and then was it both Cadillacs out or just the one?
Just the one.
Yeah.
And Alex Albon was 6 laps down at one point.
They sent him back out.
Yeah.
Like they actually sent a couple of the broken down cars back out.
Yeah.
I guess they wanted to do some testing, but yeah.
Well, I think the Williams needs all the help it can get.
At this point, yeah.
The next one is Hulk's retirement. That was a strange one.
Oh, man. A rock pierced the bodywork and hit the kill switch in the exact spot.
Sounds like
and triggered the fire suppression.
Sounds like the car was smelling what the Rock was cooking. God, I had to use that pun.
Literally got sniped by a gravel.
Yeah, I think Liam Lawson might owe him a beer for that.
That's the most unlucky DNF you ever did here.
Then you had Kimi Antonelli's car dying.
Just after the lap after he got past George.
And it sounded like a tractor, so that's something...
Yeah, Toto Wolff is pissed off with Mercedes' reliability because it's happening to the McLarens too.
And Charles Leclerc lost all hydraulics.
Well, that's a Ferrari engine, but...
he's having a bit of a difficult trot, old Charles Leclerc.
Orlando had 2 mechanical DNFs, and then, Kimmy's had his now.
Then there was the Merc squabble.
Oh, yeah.
Called this.
I mean...
You've got Lewis Hamilton closing in, so let's race each other.
Nah, it's not really good.
It's not the highest of brainwave activity.
They did calm down eventually. But then Kimmy snuck past George anyway, so...
Yeah, it could have ended in serious tears there. But the big story of this was Hamilton's pit gamble. Man,
3-stopper.
He rolled the dice.
And it paid off.
Oh, it paid off spectacularly.
A 3-stopper and the most perfectly timed virtual safety car you could have ever hoped for.
Yeah.
He got back on track in the lead and it just ended. Like, if it was 5 seconds back, George would have got him.
Well, speaking of which, Lewis Hamilton won the race, his first proper win in Ferrari colours.
Yes, we don't count the Chinese sprint race.
No. Well, he got it taken off him anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
But, my God, it was like watching the old
that
Lewis
was
Hamilton.
Vintage Lewis.
And
yeah.
There was one point there where he got on the radio and said, "How fast do I need to go?"
Yeah.
And they said 20.9. I got to admit, I cheered a little bit there because remember way back in the day when the Michael drove for Ferrari and he pitted and he got on the radio and he said, "What have I got to do?" And Ross Brawn said, "I need 20 qualifying laps out of you." And he did it.
Yeah.
That's what that felt like.
That's sort of what it reminded me of, yep.
It was almost like Hamilton was driving like the Michael.
It was.
If the Michael drove these cars, he would have driven it like that.
I will admit, I downloaded the 2026 DLC.
Yeah.
And the first driver I picked was Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari. And I won the race. And I'm like, see, Lewis, it's not that hard. Like, I have to drive the Ferrari 2026 car because of the smaller turbo and shit. And yeah, won the race from George Russell. So.
Yeah. Well, the upgrades on the car too, because they've got a new floor,
They bought 8 upgrades to Spain.
Yeah.
They completely that's a whole new car.
And that thing decimated the Mercedes.
And had Charles not had hydraulic failure, he was on for a top 4.
Yeah. Well, I think Charles was out of position because of the qualifying. Because he crashed in qualifying. So he was out of position. And he's not entirely comfortable with the car. But Lewis really is gelling with this car now, and he's starting to be a real contender.
Yeah, it looks like the upgrades have gone his way a bit.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so we're going to move on to the key drivers.
it's God.
It is God. No, we've had God before. The Michael was earlier. All right, key drivers. First key driver, Lando Norris. He was there, but he wasn't
He wouldn't
there.
have been there.
Yeah.
We got to send a massive thank you to Kimi Antonelli and Charles Leclerc, because the McLarens are going to finish in the same position they qualified, 4th and 7th.
Yeah.
Because Kimi and Charles went off late, it makes it look a hell of a lot better of a day than it was. Because the McLarens were nowhere. Like, we got 3rd and 5th, and that looks like a great day, but our reflected pace was 5th and 7th. So, yeah, I mean, they kept it on the island, and neither of our cars clonked out, so take what you can get. But, yeah, it was...
Well, there was one point there where Norris was actually gaining on Kimi Antonelli.
There was, but yeah, just the
It was
deflation of...
It was too little too late.
Because the car looked so good on Friday.
Yeah.
They were... Oscar was fastest in second practice, and they were near the top in every practice session, and it looked great. And then qualifying came, and then they just had no grip in the opening phase of the Grand Prix, and it turned into a pretty average day, helped by Kimi and Charles clocking out. But yeah, you know.
Next key driver was Max Verstappen.
Yeah, good rebound from Monaco.
Yeah, I mean, like, his car really wasn't in it.
No, like, he was 20 or so seconds off the pace by the end of the race.
He very much was in the same position as the next key driver as well, Oscar Piastri, where it was the car really wasn't in it, so they sort of got what they deserved, for lack of a better term.
They got better than they deserved. They overachieved.
Yeah, they punched above their weight.
If Charles and Kimi finishes the race, then it's reflective of where they were.
Yeah.
And it would have been, Max would have been 6th. I think Oscar would have been 7th.
Yeah.
Or something like that, yeah. So
I will give credit. The next key driver was Isaac Hadjar.
Yeah, he actually had a really good day.
Horrible start and then fought his way back through.
Finished 6th, you know. Really good recovery from him, actually.
Yeah. Next key driver, Pierre Gasly.
Again. He's had a couple of good weekends in a row.
Yeah, he's getting the most out of that Alpine for sure.
That Alpine's starting to find its feet now. Definitely not going to be the backmarker of the pack this year.
No, you got to wonder how much of that is the Mercedes power unit.
I think so. But I don't think it can be just the power unit. Like,
no.
I mean, Haas is running a Ferrari power unit, but they're not exactly
setting
the world on fire with their lightning starts the way Ferrari gets.
Or Cadillac, they're running a Ferrari power unit.
They're fucking nowhere.
Yeah, they might as well be showing up in a horse and a chariot.
You might as well build your own engine at this point.
They're doing that.
I mean, they are, but,
Next key driver was Franco Colapinto, again in the other Alpine.
Yeah, both Alpines had a good day.
Same with both the Racing Bull drivers. So I've put Lawson and Lindblad.
Lindblad's getting a fucking shout out tonight.
And look, I know he didn't finish the race, but I've put Hulkenberg down because he was getting the most out of that fucking Audi.
The most unlucky DNF of all time.
Yeah.
And he was actually getting some decent pace out of the Audi. He was running 10th.
Yeah, like we were starting to actually see something out of that Audi.
Yeah.
And then it's all just taken away in an instant.
Yeah. A literal gunshot.
Right, so very rarely, actually this is the first time we've ever done this, is the legend. So we got, the key drivers. But then we've got a legend.
Okay.
Hamilton's engineer. He was fucking awesome.
Yeah, he actually made sense this week.
Yeah, because he's not Riccardo Adami. He's someone else now. And this guy, genuinely sounded excited when Lewis Hamilton, when he came out after he did the pit, and he was in when the VSC was on, and he came out, and Hamilton's putting along, and you hear him go something like, "You're in a Pier 1. But he said it like really excited. Even I was just like,
Yes.
that's what you want to hear in your engineer.
Light the fire.
Not Ricardo Adamia. You are B1. B1.
We are checking.
We are checking. Like, you want someone with a bit of life. And
I think the legend is whoever had the fucking balls, whether it was Lewis or his engineer or the Ferrari strategy department, and said, fuck it, we're going to do a 3-stop race.
yeah.
Because fuck it paid off.
Yeah, it was just a master stroke.
Even if George had gotten past Lewis off the end of that second VSC, Lewis had like 10-lap younger tyres to chase him down with.
Yeah, and clearly he had the better car.
You reckon he would have had the pace to get there or thereabouts?
Yeah.
So, yeah, kudos to Ferrari, to Lewis, to the strategy department for whoever made that 3-stop call, because it was ballsy and it paid off.
I think it was his engineer who's just like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
You know? Right, so now we get to the helmet drivers. The old Tucky and Niue. I've only got 3. And you'll probably say, gee, you're grasping at straws here. Okay. So the first one is Lance Stroll, purely because it's Lance Stroll.
Okay.
The next 2, you might have noticed that one of them was an absentee from the key drivers list. Kimi Antonelli and George Russell.
Both of them together.
But no, individually. I just thought I'd say it because it's those 2. You've got Lewis Hamilton in a faster Ferrari.
On fresher tyres.
On fresher tyres, hunting you down with a knife, and you 2 decide to have a fucking fight. Like, is that the dumbest thing ever? The dumbest thing ever.
It would have been dumber if they'd made contact. At least the pass was clean.
You know, it's been 10 years since Hamilton and Rosberg crashed.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
when Kimi dived under him, I'm like, it's 10 years to the day since Hamilton and Rosberg crashed here. Holy shit, could you imagine the internet if they did it? Like going through turn 3, same spot.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I would feel sorry for Toto Wolff's headphones. Because they would go flying. That was just the dumbest thing ever. And the worst thing about it was that George Russell was driving all over the track to defend it.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, just let him pass. Like, fuck, dude. You know, if you're sitting there fighting your teammate and you stack it, you're both getting nothing.
That was ego because 10 laps before that, when Lewis was in front of them, they were going to let Kimi pass him to have a shot at Lewis because George was slower. And George is doing everything he can out front to make it look like he's faster. And the only reason Kimi didn't finish in front of him was because the engine died.
Yeah.
Because he was about to lose out to Kimi again.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to give it to George Russell again.
I'll just give it to the Mercedes power unit for ruining Kimi's day. And also for ruining Lando's races. A few races back. So Mercedes power unit, you got my helmet driver of the day.
Well, I voted for George Russell. Right. Put Merc.
And Toto Wolff is not happy with you either, so there. It's more of a reason. More of a reason to blame the Mercedes power unit.
You know, that's the thing. That's the thing that could decide this year's championship, is that
reliability.
Is the Mercedes power unit.
I want to see the list of how much power unit components these teams have already gone through. Because I think it's quite extensive.
Well, I think that Piastri and Norris are both on their final power units.
Like, people are going to... We're going to rock up to, like, fucking Qatar. And the whole grid's going to have, like, 60-place grid penalties.
Yeah, it's going to be McLaren 2015 with grid penalties.
Everyone starting from the pit lane.
Yeah.
We had the first Grand Prix ever to have pit lane start for everyone. It's going to be like that one Hungary race.
Yep.
Except Lewis won't be on the grid on his own. Or maybe he will. Maybe Ferrari will have enough. No, it'll be someone like crazy.
It'll be like Indianapolis, where the Ferrari runners are the only teams on the grid.
There's 6 cars on the grid.
And everyone else,
is in the pit lane. Because I think that list is going to be quite extensive, and we are not that far into the season.
No, it's not a good look. And that's
because I think Lando's both tyres with a battery.
Yeah.
So he's got to have used his battery allocation already.
And, yeah, like you've got...
And Kimmy's definitely sounded like the engine.
Yeah, it could have been the turbo.
Yeah, it sounded like a tractor when it pulled up.
Yeah, that was a horrible noise. You know, it's... Yeah, like there was a hydraulic issue, but the hydraulics seem to be a little bit separate from the engine because
the hydraulics are usually a pump or something, not the actual engine.
Yeah, so I don't think that'll be... I think the Ferrari power unit might be the most reliable out of the lot.
At the moment, yeah. Yeah, I probably can't even say Ford because Max had that horrible start in Monaco, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to get to the news. First news item, Charles Leclerc has signed a deal extension with Ferrari. It's going to keep him there until at least 2030. Sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah, it's only 3 years, 4 years.
Well, his deal was supposed to end at the end of 2027.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he's going through. Well, that'll get him back to the V8 regulations almost.
Yeah, like the end of 2030 at least, they're saying.
Yeah, righto. Well, he might get 1 year with the V8s maybe.
Yeah. Well, that means he's got at least 4 cracks to win a fucking championship.
Yeah, he's going to have to drive a bit better than he is.
Yeah, well, how did he celebrate? Oh, I put it into the wall at Monaco.
Put it into the wall at Monaco and then clonked out. Well, that wasn't his fault. But
it wasn't his fault.
Clonked out in Spain.
You know,
here's your new contract with a double DNF.
Yeah.
Yay, Tafoti, yay.
It's been inked with hydraulic fluid.
Yeah. Your new contract, you're getting a double DNF and your teammate's winning the race.
Woo! Right, so, yeah, Charles Leclerc is sticking around Ferrari for a bit longer. This has got to be his last contract, though. If he doesn't win a championship, he needs to move on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's high time.
Next news item is Pierre Gasly's P3 was reinstated for Monaco because of the absolute trying to figure out what the hell went on in that race with the stewards.
Everyone's still trying to figure it out. So much so that they're trying to go to court now.
Like, it's just ridiculous.
It was a shit show.
Anyone who's still complaining about Abu Dhabi 2021.
The fact that Pierre's been reinstated means everyone in that race that got a 5-second penalty can now argue the point.
Yeah.
It's just open a can of worms.
They might as well just make the entire race's result null and void and just fuck it.
And then you can just delete the track off the calendar forever. No one will miss it.
Yeah, everyone will miss it. You know what? You know what? Listener to the show, Peggy, she sent me a very interesting video last night. So there's a company called LVMH, I think it is. Right? They're the parent company of Louis Vuitton, Tag Heuer, the company that supplies the champagne, they Moet. They got their fingers in everything in F1.
I'm not surprised. Why do you think every second Grand Prix is the Louis Vuitton whatever?
Yeah.
The Monaco Grand Prix was the Louis Vuitton Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah. It's going
to be... the Australian Grand Prix was the Louis Vuitton Grand Prix last year.
It's going to be even more interesting because next year Alpine is going to be the Gucci Racing Alpine team.
So they're going to go toe-to-toe with Louis Vuitton, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Alpine won't be in blue and pink. They're going to be in...
black and gold, baby.
Black and gold.
Good.
The old John Player special.
Good, the old Lotus colours.
Yes, that's
Bring
what
it
we're going
back.
to hear.
But yeah, that's going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
Because if Gasly's been reinstated, then everyone else is going to get their penalties rescinded.
Yeah. All right, next news item is Las Vegas extended their contract until 2037. Look, it's not the worst of the three American
It's not the worst
tracks.
track. I don't know how these cars are going to go around there this year. Lots of super clipping.
That's why I haven't downloaded the...
It's hard. It's hard. You got to balance, like, throttle. You got to get off I got a half throttle before the braking zone. It's like fuel saving, but it's battery saving. Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it in Vegas. I did a sprint race around Austria and struggled enough.
Right, so I don't think I will download the 2026 update.
And it's not a free update. It's $50.
$50?
Yeah. It's not a free DLC.
Oh, no, that can go spit. No, hang that for a joke. But, yeah, Las Vegas sticking around until 2037. Right, so next news item.
Yeah.
So we've got the results of the ADWO evaluations.
The engine
Yeah,
thing.
but they only took the evaluation off the V6 internal combustion engine.
Nothing to do with the electronics.
No.
Okay.
Right? Now, this even I find this bizarre. Okay? So they found out of all the V6 power units, they're all compliant. So none of this Mercedes have secretly got an 18
the
compression.
18 compression ratio myth got exploded.
Yeah. But have you also noticed that since they had their engine looked at, they haven't quite been as fast?
They haven't been totally dominating races like
So
they did at the start of the year.
It's screaming a little bit of Ferrari 2020 here.
Well, they're still winning races, though.
Yeah. But, it's Monaco. Any idiot can win at Monaco. But they found that the best or the most powerful V6 engine out of the lot was the Red Bull.
The Ford powertrain.
Well, no, because Ford only does the electrical components.
Oh, really? So it was the Red Bull powertrain.
Yeah, the engine, the V6 turbo, is still the same power unit design.
It's still the Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except now they've got to make their own parts.
Yeah, which is why Aston Martin sucks.
Whereas, Honda's had to make their own power unit from scratch. And Aston Martin has to make their own gearbox from scratch now too.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that explains why the gearbox conked out. So, here's the thing though. So, the V6 of the Red Bull is the benchmark, right? So, they get no upgrades because they're the benchmark.
That's crazy. They are not the team I thought would be the benchmark.
No one did.
Thought for sure it'd be Mercedes.
Even Red Bull are like, get fucked. We're not the benchmark here. I don't know how you came to this conclusion.
Well, they've come to the conclusion.
So then Mercedes is the next team. They get one upgrade. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about the upgrades. So it's determined, they determined the power thing, how much power off you are from the benchmark off the V6 internal combustion engine.
Yeah, on its own.
But you can spend your one upgrade on any part of the power unit. So the battery, the engine, the turbo, the kinetic energy recovery system. You can spend your upgrade on any of them.
Right.
All right. So Mercedes has got one upgrade. All right. And you get some extra cash to spend on it. So it doesn't set you over the salary cap. All right. The next benchmark was Ferrari. They get 2 upgrades with the possibility of another upgrade for next year. All right. So
I actually thought the Ferrari power unit was a bit better than that.
No, the actual V6.
I thought the Ferrari power unit would be very close to on par with Mercedes.
No, the V6 is actually down on power compared to the Mercedes and the Red Bull.
Right.
So It's got the smaller turbo, and it's down on power. It's got to be fucking lightweight.
Oh, it has to be.
It has to be. That thing has to be made out of fucking Coke cans.
Or empty Coke cans.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Magnesium. 500 horsepower.
So then the next one, they also get 2 upgrades, is Audi.
I don't think Audi's engine was that close.
Yeah, well, so they get 2 upgrades and the possibility of an upgrade for next year as well. And then finally, you've got Honda. Honda gets 2 upgrades plus a possibility for an upgrade for next year. They've actually opened up another level for Honda where they're allowed more money to spend on development than any other team.
Well, they are a shitbox. We know it's a shitbox.
So, yeah, that's the...
I'm surprised this tier list hasn't got like Honda with like 6 upgrades and Audi with like 4 upgrades.
Well, they found they weren't that far behind. It's just like, have you not been watching the races?
Have you not watched the Grand Prix this year?
Like,
to be fair, Alonso did get a point in Monaco.
yeah, but that's Monaco. That's not a power circuit.
That's true.
That's how good your aerodynamics are. I suppose that's probably why the Ferrari is also doing so good. It must be aerodynamically shaped like a fucking bullet.
Well, it outpaced the Mercedes on power in Spain.
Well, even Lando Norris said after this race, the Catalonia Grand Prix, that if the Ferrari had a better engine, that thing would decimate everyone.
Yeah, it's a good package.
Yeah.
Just needs a better power unit. Well, I mean, shit. If they get 2 upgrades this year and 1 next year, they could be the front runners next year.
And don't forget, it gets reevaluated at it's the last race in the summer break.
Hungary or Spa?
No. Hungary's straight after the break now.
Ah, so it'll be Spa then.
No, Spa is after Hungary. So it's
Zandvoort?
Is it Zandvoort?
Might be somewhere around there.
Yeah. Or it could be bugger. Yeah. Whatever the last race is in July, that's when they assess it again. So then they've got the entire summer break to do the upgrades for the back end of the season.
All right.
So, yeah. So this could change again.
Yeah. This is obviously the initial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel bad for Red Bull, though. I mean, their engine is not the best. Like, their power unit is not the best. And they're getting told, oh, your V6 engine's the best out of the bunch. So
well, it must be, because the FIA said it is.
Yeah, but now that all the teams, including Red Bull are like, the fuck? Like,
well, their V6 power unit probably is the best. It's probably the battery that's not.
Yeah, it could
it's probably
be
the other 50% of the power unit that's
could
not.
be all the Ford bits.
All the Ford bits, yeah.
The Red Bull bit's fine. The Ford bit's junk.
Yeah, because they only tested the internal combustion engine in isolation.
Yeah.
So, obviously, with Ferrari being... Ferrari get 2 upgrades, but they're winning races, so obviously their battery side's pretty fucking good.
It's either that or the engine is made out of aluminium.
Magnesium.
That's the Honda.
Just don't put Niki Lauda back in it.
Yeah. That's the Honda, mate. It's made out of magnesium parts. But aerodynamically, the car's got to be fantastic now. And then the engine's got to be as light as a feather.
Well, it's got to be something, because there's winning races, even though...
they've won a race.
The duo test says that their engine's not that great. They're doing something right.
Yeah.
Obviously aerodynamically and electrically.
Yeah. And I mean, the Aston Martin was trying to run that zero wing concept.
Yeah.
Why do teams keep trying to do that concept? It never works. It didn't work for Mercedes during the ground effect era.
No.
They tried it, actually. They tried it on the McLaren when Honda came back 10 years ago.
It didn't
work. And now they're trying it again. Stop trying to make it happen. It's like the word fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Oh, God.
You're like, fuck, that's a dated reference. Jesus.
It's a very dated reference.
All right. So that's the news. Unless you want to talk about Kim Kardashian blowing off Martin Brundle on the Monaco grid walk.
And stealing Kimi Antonelli's towel.
She sent it back to him.
That's pretty cool, though. That's funny.
Because she had something written on there, to Kimmy from Kim.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Even though she's with Lewis Hamilton.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
Anyway. Right, so we're going to move on now to the driver's standings after the Barcelona Catalunya Grand Prix. So in 10th place, we've got Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
10th place is Liam Lawson in the Racing Bull.
The sniper.
In 28. With 28 points. 9th place is Isaac Hadjar in the Red Bull with 34 points. 8th place is Pierre Gasly in the Alpine with 41 points. 7th place is Max Verstappen with 55 points. 6th place is Oscar Piastri with 68 points. 5th place is Lando Norris with 73 points. 4th place is Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari in 75 points. 3rd place is George Russell with 160 points that turned in on him. 2nd place is Lewis Hamilton with 115 points, and leading the championship is Kimi Antonelli with 156 points. And we get to the team standings. In 11th place is Cadillac with Zoot. 10th place is Aston Martin with 1 point. 9th place is Audi with 2 points.
Those bottom three are like every World Cup game ever. 2-1, 1-0.
8th place is Williams with 11 points. 7th place is Haas with 21 points. 6th place is Racing Bulls with 41 points. 5th place is Alpine with 57 points. 4th place, Ireland unto themselves, Red Bull with 89 points. 3rd place is McLaren with 141 points. 2nd place is Ferrari with 190 points. And then 1st place is Mercedes with 262 points.
Yep.
I'm looking at some of these points just going, it's an Ashley Klein score.
We have the Soccer World Cup down the bottom. We've got Williams sort of floating on their own. We've got a Alpine and Racing Bulls kind of close. Red Bull on their own. McLaren trying to keep touch with Ferrari, and Mercedes running away with it.
Yeah. All right, so now we get to the socials. If you want to watch this video, you can watch it on YouTube, the F1 Chat Care of Vindicator 18 channel. We do have a dedicated channel called the F1 Chat-1, but we still need to get the stuff off Longhorn so we can actually upload onto it. We've got the Facebook page, the F1 Chat.
That's where you can, comment. Comment and tell us how amazing we are.
Yes.
At delivering your news more regularly than Rocket Powered Mohawk.
Yeah, well, it's more concurrent than Rocket Powered Mohawk.
And equally as funny.
Yes. X. We're on X, the F1 Chat 1. Don't forget the 1.
We were on X today, actually.
We were on Rumble. We still are, apparently, but it's all old stuff. It's a bit of an archive. We've got to clear the cobwebs off there. It's the F1 Chat. And Spotify, the F1 Chat.
Yeah, we're in the Spotify Museum.
Yes. Right.
If you want to go back and listen to how awesome 2021 was as a season, Spotify's... Actually, I don't think it goes back that far.
Yeah, it does.
What did we put on Spotify, like the 23, 24 season?
Yeah, there was the season where, because there was that one episode about the Australian Grand Prix where we gave Longhorn so much crap about Williams running off
Windows XL.
Windows XL.
That was 2022.
No, that was 2024.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, get back over there on Spotify and tell us.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Right, so the next race is in 2 weeks. You want to guess where we're going to be at?
The Red Bull Ring.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the next race is right after that, a week later.
Where at?
Silverstone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'll be home for the Red Bull Ring, but I'll be back at work for Silver's Day.
Yeah, that's all right. So yeah, we've got some good races coming up. Well, we hope they're good races.
Austria's going to be an overtake fest. You know how hard it is to keep those batteries charged? We're going to have 263 lead changes. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be like a MotoGP race. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be great, yeah.
Or it's going to be the worst race we've ever seen. One of the two.
Yeah, but then also factor in, like, there's George Russell and that turn at the top of the mountain.
Oh, yeah. Are we taking bets on how long it takes for him to hit Kimi Antonelli?
And then say he turned in on me?
Lap 2. No, lap 1. You went anyway. Lap 1.
Yeah, lap 1. It'll be a lap 1.
Yeah.
Easily. And Max will probably tag Lando.
Just because.
Yeah, because they always do.
Yeah, it's Austria. That's what they do.
All right, well, thank you everyone for tuning in on this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We will see you again in 2 weeks, where we'll do Austria. Austria?
Yeah, it could be chaos.
Could be chaos.
That could be the longest race review we've ever done.
But hopefully it'll be a good race, and hopefully you will join us for that episode. Until then, it is time for us to part. So until then, it is goodbye.